So now let's move on. Summer Rae with Layla at ringside versus Natalya with freaking Rosa Mendez at ringside. When did Rosa Mendez and Natalya become BFFs? I don't get this.
I think they have a storyline on the latest Total Divas, which I know you
I
and I
think
are
we need to
behind
go
on,
back
so.
and watch the newest season of Total Divas because this is getting ridiculous and I feel so out of the loop.
I know, you and me both. Natalya even seemed irritated by Rosa's presence. Again, kind of like when they tagged together, Natalya seemed irritated about the fact of having to work with Rosa. But we all know she hates Summer Rae even more because we saw a clip from Total Divas where Natalya was such a civilized human being, she pulled Summer Rae out of her vehicle by the hair. So real classy there, Natty. Real classy. And so, yeah, these two are getting ready to have a match. Summer does cut a heel promo. I guess her and Layla are heels.
Oh, was it a heel promo? I thought it was a cringe promo because that's what I did while watching it.
Oh, wow. So yeah, that reminds me too. Another week where Fandango is not on the prize. Is he injured? Like, what is going on? Like, I'm really missing these guys.
He's lost to the abyss. Same thing that happened to JTG and Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins and Trent Beretta and.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
But, I guess Summer and Layla were baby faces then, but now that they've put Fandango through enough hell that apparently he lost his job, they could go back to being heels. And Summer pretty much says, summertime for all of you losers is over, but for me and my girl Lay, it's summertime all the time. Well, that's great.
Now she's just stealing from Adam Rose.
Exactly.
It's not summertime all the time, it's party time all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, she was a part of the Exotic Express like 2 to 3 times. I really can't.
I know, right? She's totally plagiarizing.
I know, right? But as far as the match goes, not a bad match. But Natalya does get the win here with the sharpshooter.
Oh, of course she does. And Layla even attempts to distract her on the apron.
And Rosa Mendez actually played dividends by pulling Layla off. So, yeah, maybe Rosa isn't totally useless.
Oh, no, she definitely is.
But Natalya does get the win. Really, guys, I am a big fan of Summer's in-ring work again from NXT, and I feel like she even cuts better promos on NXT because this wasn't her best stuff. But I don't really think this has any implications or repercussions on the Divas Championship because that picture's kind of dominated by Paige, AJ, and maybe still the Bella Twins. I don't know.
Oh,
but,
don't say that, John. Don't say that.
I only say it because I feel like it may be legitimate. So I
Dude,
honestly
at the end of the day, the Divas title picture is dominated by everybody who isn't on Total Divas, and I am sticking to my guns on that.
There you go. So, yeah.
As much as the WWE might want people to believe that they have a chance, we know. We know.
So, yeah, Natalya does get the win. So I hope you enjoy that win, Natty, because I'm still enjoying your husband far more than you right now.
I bet you anything that's why AJ refused to be on Total Divas when they asked her.
Yeah, because she wanted to, I guess, elevate the Divas Championship and do more.
Because I'm telling you, there's some kind of a clause that the WWE has where if you're on Total Divas, you can't be a Divas champion. And AJ didn't want to agree to that.
Right. Maybe.
She preferred the title to reality television.
This is just another instance of WWE not wanting those two universes to collide except on their own terms. So
yeah, tonight.
Exactly. So
like this literal segment that we're talking about right now.
Exactly, yeah. So there you have it. Natalya gets the win. Again, me and Ashton have been behind.
Dude, this match, if it wasn't for our no divas in Heat of the Night rule, this would have been. Because this whole thing from beginning to end was bad. From the entrances to the introduction to the showing of the angle on Total Divas on Raw to Summer's promo to the match itself to the finish. Everything about this match was bad.
See, and I at least enjoyed the match. Didn't care.
This match was literally offensive to every sense.
But yeah, I can tell you really loathed having this as a viewing experience. So for that, I guess I will say I'm sorry on behalf of Total Divas.
I just loathe everything Natalya more than everybody else.
At least we have Tyson Kidd, though. At least
I know. Yeah. I like to believe. Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
Okay. All right. So unless you have anything
All I was gonna say was I like to believe that he keeps her in check, but things could definitely get implied from that I don't want people to go out there and say.
yeah, definitely. So unless you have anything else you want to say about this match, I guess we can move on.
No, I don't have anything to add other than it was just awful. So up next, we had Kane versus Dean Ambrose. This match is really, really fun. It's one of those matches where Dean really kind of bends the rules and kind of gets away with as much as you really can get away with without getting disqualified. And then he ends up winning by disqualification because Seth Rollins comes in and attacks him.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I loved how Dean seemed like at one point he was going to throw caution in the wind by getting steel chairs introduced, but then Kane kind of puts a stop to that. And yeah, it was a great back and forth effort. Kane, even at this stage of his career, even wrestling in long pants and being corporate Kane, still manages to put on entertaining matches.
Yeah.
Ambrose hits dirty deeds. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is something else I wanted to point out. Ambrose wasn't wearing any shoulder tape, was he? So I think the shoulder's even healed with his time off, hasn't it?
I know, dude. The brain injury overtook it.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, man, fantastic. Glad to see Dean finally healed up after all those months. So, yeah, hits dirty deeds, but again, as Ashton noted, Seth Rollins does interfere. Thankfully, though, Dean, again, does get on offense, and this is something I will say that I liked, because ever since Dean's been reintroduced, I did want him to start getting the upper hand little by little, and it happened again, because, Seth thought he was going to put the boots to Ambrose, but Ambrose does put a stop to it. He does fight Seth Rollins off, even eating a choke slam from Kane afterwards when Seth Rollins retreated the first time. Seth Rollins was going to go back and do damage, but Ambrose had the mindset to grab the steel chair and use that. So even when it seemed like things were going to be bleak for Ambrose, he was able to fend Rollins off, and I like that because I understand that for the babyface, you should eat a lot of offense and you should build up all that sympathy, but I think at least for the first little bit since he just came back, Ambrose should be a little bit stronger than when he left, and I'm glad they're really making that point for the time being. So,
yeah, I enjoy when Dean Ambrose works matches like this. I don't know, I don't think you actually said anything about it, but I love that he really does like bend, stretch, really just do everything to the rules but break them.
Definitely.
He was using the steel steps, the ring posts. He was literally using everything he could on Kane that was within the rules that wouldn't get him disqualified.
Well, you know what's so great about Dean Ashton, which I've kind of noted in some of his matches, I think when it comes to people that he has a particular beef with, because Kane, in the grander scheme of things, does represent the authority, who Ambrose has his legitimate gripes with. When he does things, like the little nonsense, like introducing the steel chairs, and because his gimmick is, as commentary likes to call him, the lunatic fringe, you think, is this where Ambrose is going to break and just throw a match away? Like, it's almost like when you're watching Ambrose compete, you're almost watching at the same time him doing a balancing act with his own mind. Because you think, is he going to keep it together, or is he going to throw it away for the sake of just hurting somebody else? And I love watching that dynamic, because when he introduces the chairs, do you think, oh, is he just so obsessed with Seth Rollins? Is he just so sick of the authorities crap that he's just going to go to town on Kane and he's going to see Seth Rollins when he looks at Kane? Or is he going to keep it together long enough to think, I want to get the win, I want to get the job done? And I hope it's something that gets emphasized in the future when he's a part of bigger and more prominent angles, like maybe feuding for a world title or feuding with Cena. Like, I want to see that dynamic emphasized more, and I would like to see him cross that line sometimes and say, screw it, I just want to hurt the other guy and throw it away. Because, like you said, we even see, like, he uses the steel steps. He uses everything that's legal but still brutal. And, again, it's just another instance of him walking that tightrope, which I find incredibly interesting. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so as you said, after the match, of course, Rollins and Ambrose are doing their thing, but then we get back from a commercial break, and Triple H is confronting Rollins, and he's basically telling him to stop making everybody mad at the authority. And Rollins says, well, what else was I supposed to do? And then next thing you know, Dean Ambrose is in the picture and trying to beat him up again.
Yeah. Yeah, Ambrose tries to get at Seth Rollins again. Again, he seems successful for the first little bit, but then security, notably Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble, pin Ambrose down, and they bound him again, and they put him in this room. They lock it, and I guess they dispose of the key. They have guards
They
standing.
didn't even bound him, dude.
They didn't bound him this time? Okay, well, then I know they put him in a room and they closed the door and they locked it. That much they did do. And I loved how Stephanie even acknowledged, have we ever kicked somebody out that doesn't re-enter the building? Like, so even she knows, like, it's pretty much a lost cause. But Triple H says, yeah, you watch that door, you make sure nothing happens. I'm sick of this crap. And they feel like they have Ambrose all taken care of. And to be fair, yeah, it seems like a pretty airtight method, having guards stand at the door, which is already locked, and Ambrose at one point has just got to be like, screw it, banging it doesn't work, and probably just sleep on it. But as we'd see later.
No, I was just going to say, obviously he didn't sleep on it. He totally managed to escape under everyone's noses.
Yeah, which I'm very curious how that played out. And hopefully
air vent.
I thought air vent too, yeah. I hope he shows security footage of him actually going through the process. That would be hilarious.
The answer is always air vent, no matter what. Even if it's 3 inches big, it's always air vent.
There you go. Air vent is key. So, entertaining stuff, but Ambrose proves, Houdini ain't got crap on me. I was entertained by this, and if you have anything else to say, I guess we can move on.
I have nothing else to add to this other than the fact that Dean Ambrose was just awesome at the end of the night.
Right.